Hi, students and friends. This is your host and teacher, Sayyid Ayazuddin Haider, and you're watching Learn and Teach by Sir Ayaz. So, I will continue my video session for past papers, and I was doing 0620. This time, I have selected variant 23, and it's of October-November 23. So, let's start the paper. Here's question number 1. A sample of a gas occupies 340 centimeter cube at room temperature and pressure. The temperature and pressure are both increased, but the volume occupied by the gas remains 340 centimeter cube. Which row describes what happens to the particle speed and the average distance between the particles in the gas when the temperature and pressure are both increased? Definitely the particle speed will increase if you increase the temperature, and the average distance between the particle remain unchanged. The reason is that it's happening at a fixed volume, that is 340 centimeter cube. So when the pressure and temperature is increased, the speed of the particle will increase, the average distance will not increase. So definitely choice C will be the right answer in this case. Number 2, which statements about the rate of diffusion of gases ammonia, carbon monoxide, nitrogen, and oxygen are correct? Number 1, nitrogen and carbon monoxide will diffuse at the same rate. For this, we need to know the MR of both nitrogen and carbon monoxide gas. You know, nitrogen exists as N2, and carbon monoxide, formula of carbon monoxide is CO. So where is nitrogen? Here is nitrogen. 14 is its AR. What about carbon? Carbon is in group 4. AR is 12. Oxygen is in group 6. AR is 16. So for nitrogen, 2 multiplied by 14 gives 28. What about carbon monoxide? Carbon 12, oxygen 16. And again, we'll get 28. The MR of both of these are same. So they will definitely diffuse at the same rate. So 1 is the right statement. Number 2, oxygen will diffuse slowest because it is an element, whereas the others are compounds. So what about the AR of oxygen? Oxygen exists at O2. So AR of oxygen is 16. So 2 multiplied by 16, we will get 32. This point is correct that it will diffuse slowly, but let's see the other statement. It's an element. This is also correct, whereas the others are compounds. Nitrogen is not a compound, only carbon monoxide is a compound. So this is incorrect. Number 3, ammonia will diffuse fastest. Ammonia, NH3. Nitrogen is 14. There are 3 atoms of hydrogen, so it must be 3. 14 plus 3, 17. So this is also correct statement. So B will be the right answer in this case. Number 3. The structure of an atom of element X is shown. What is element X? Proton is 5. What about the number of electrons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number of electrons also 5, which means it's an atom, it's not an ion. So 5 protons. Where are 5 proton? 5 protons, boron. It must be in group 3. So element is boron. A is correct. Next question. Which statement explains why isotopes of an element have the same chemical reactions? Now, isotopes are having same chemical reactions due to the same number of outer shell electrons. So A, they have different number of neutrons. This is not the reason. This is incorrect. B, they have ions with different number of electrons. They are not ions. They are atoms of the different atoms of the same element. C, they have the same number of outer shell electrons. This looks correct to me. I've already explained. D, they have the same number of protons. This is also incorrect. So only choice C will be the right answer for number 4. Number 5. Magnesium reacts with oxygen to form magnesium oxide. What happens to magnesium atoms and oxygen atoms during this reaction? Where is magnesium? Magnesium is in group 2. It's a metal. Oxygen is in group 6. It's a non-metal. So whenever metal reacts with non-metal, ionic bond is formed, which means that there is a transfer of electron. And metals lose electron, non-metals gain electron. In this case, magnesium atom loses its valence electron. There are 2 valence electrons, and oxygen will take up these 2 electrons. As it is in group 6, it needs 2 electrons to complete its valence shell. So I'm reading the statements. A, magnesium and oxygen share 2 electrons. This is wrong. They are not going to share electrons. B, magnesium gains 2 electrons, oxygen loses 2 electrons. This is wrong. Magnesium is a metal, it will lose electron, and oxygen is a non-metal, it will gain electrons. C, magnesium loses 1 electron and oxygen gains 1 electron. This is also incorrect. Magnesium is in group 2, it will gain 2 electrons, and oxygen is in group 6, it will gain 2 electrons. D, magnesium loses 2 electrons, oxygen gain 2 electrons. This is the correct statement. Number 6. Which row about the properties of both diamond and silicon 4 oxide is correct? Both are giant covalent structures. So both are giant. So either A is correct or C is correct. Both B and D is incorrect. So conductor of electricity, they do not conduct electricity because they don't have free electrons. So this is incorrect. Choice C will be the right answer. 7. The equation represents the reaction between solid magnesium oxide and dilute hydrochloric acid to form magnesium chloride and water. This is a reaction. MgO plus 2HCl gives MgCl2 plus H2O. Which row shows the state symbols for hydrochloric acid, magnesium chloride, and water? Hydrochloric acid is an acid, so it must be in aqueous state. So either A is correct or B is correct. C and D is incorrect. What about magnesium chloride? MgCl2, it will exist as aqueous. The reason is that it's an ionic compound soluble in water. So AQ will be a symbol for MgCl2. H2O exists in the liquid state. So A will be the right answer for this question. Number 8. Which substance is a mixture? A, air. It's correct. B, graphite. No. C, oxygen. It's incorrect. D, water. It's also incorrect. So A will be the right answer for number 8. Number 9. The number of moles of atoms X, Y, and Z in a compound are shown. So for atom X, we have 0.6 moles. For atom Y, we have 1.2 moles. For Z, we have 0.3 moles. What is the formula of the compound? In this case, we need to work out the ratio. If we know the ratio, we can easily predict the formula. So if you look at the ratio for X and Y, X ratio Y, 0.6 ratio 1.2. So 0.6 divided by 1.2, it must be 1 divided by 2. So X is 0.5, which means if X is 1, then Y must be 2. If X is 1, Y must be 2. What about the ratio of Y and Z? Y and Z. Y is 1.2, Z is 0.3. You can write 1.2 divided by 0.3, 4 by 1. So if you have 4 atoms of Y, when there is 1 atom of Z. Okay. So Z is 1. If Z is 1, Y must be 4. 2 multiplied by 2. So it means X must be 2 also. So X multiplied by 2. So D must be the right answer in this case. As you see, 2, 4, 1. Number 10. 1 mole of silver nitrate, AgNO3, contains 1.2 into 10 to the power 24 ions. How many ions are there in 0.25 mole of iron 3 oxide, Fe2O3? Now we need to work out the number of ions in 0.25 mole of iron 3 oxide. They have already mentioned the ions for AgNO3. So 1 mole is containing 1.2 into 10 to the power 24 ions. So first of all, I need to write down the ions present in Fe2O3. Then we will multiply the number of ions by 0.25 moles. In this way, we'll be able to know the number of moles of the ions. So for Fe2O3, 2 moles of Fe plus 3 ions, 3 moles of O minus 2 ions. And it's mentioned 0.25. Moles of 0.25 will be multiplied by 2 plus 3 is 5. So 0.25 multiplied by 5. 0.25 multiplied by 5 gives 1.25. 1.25. 1.25 moles of the ions. So we'll multiply this by 6.02 into 10 to the power 23. 1.25 multiplied by 6.02 into 10 to the power 23. 1.25 multiplied by 6.02. 7.525. 7.525 into 10 to the power 23. This must be the right answer. Number 11. Concentrated aqueous magnesium bromide is electrolyzed using carbon electrodes. Which equations represent the reactions occurring at each electrode? We have concentrated aqueous magnesium bromide. What's the formula of magnesium bromide? Here's magnesium and here's bromine. Charge on group 2 is +2. Group 7 is -1. The formula between magnesium and bromine, -1, +2. Ignore the charges. What we will get? We will get MgBr2. MgBr2. So when MgBr2 is electrolyzed, we'll have Mg plus 2 ions and Br negative ions. So Mg plus 2, it will not get discharged as it is up in the reactivity series. Instead, H positive ion will get discharged at negative electrode or cathode. This is cathode. Negative electrode is cathode and positive electrode is anode. Negative ion will move towards anode. Positive ion will move towards cathode. So A must be the right answer in this case because at the negative electrode, we can see we have H positive ion. What about anode? As it is concentrated, so Br negative ion must get get discharged at anode, producing Br2. So A must be the right answer in this case. All the other choices are incorrect. Number 12. Aqueous copper 2 sulfate is electrolyzed using carbon electrodes. Which statement is correct? A. Bubbles of hydrogen gas are formed at the anode. You can't get hydrogen gas at the anode in any case. If hydrogen gas is produced, it will be produced at cathode. So A is incorrect in this case. B. Bubbles of oxygen gas are formed at the cathode. So if even oxygen is produced, it will be produced at anode. At anode, not cathode. So this is also incorrect. C. Copper is deposited at the anode. This is also incorrect. Copper get deposited at cathode. D. The blue color of the solution fades. This is correct. The blue color of the solution fades away as electrolysis progresses. So only choice D will be the right answer in this case. Number 13. When water is added to anhydrous iron 3 chloride FeCl3 hydrated iron 3 chloride FeCl3 6H2O is formed and energy is given out. FeCl3 plus 6H2O gives FeCl3 dot 6H2O. Energy is given out, which means that forward reaction is exothermic. So I will write delta H minus. So obviously backward reaction will be endothermic in this case. Which reaction pathway diagram represents the formation of anhydrous iron 3 chloride in the reverse reaction? So in the reverse reaction, that is the conversion of FeCl3 dot 6H2O into FeCl3 plus 6H2O. Product must be at the high energy state because it's absorbing energy. So either A is correct or B is correct. Let's look at this. B must be correct because in B they are showing FeCl3 dot 6H2O as a reactant and FeCl3 plus 6H2O as a product. So B must be the right answer in this case. A, C, D are incorrect. 14. Ethene reacts with hydrogen. The equation is shown. C2H4 plus H2 gives C2H6. The bond energies are shown. We have bond energy as well as the bond energy. What is the energy change for the reaction? You know the formula for energy change? That is energy needed to break bond minus energy released in bond making. Now I need to draw the displayed formula. Ethene, this is ethene, C double bond C plus H2, H bond H gives C single bond C. So we have one C double bond C. So 610 plus we have 4 C bond H, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 multiplied by C bond H, 410 plus H bond H, we have 1 H bond H, 436 minus we have 1 C bond C, so 350 plus we have 6 CH bond, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 6 CH bond, 410. So 610 plus 4 multiplied by 410, 1640 plus 436 minus 350 minus 64.2460. $610 plus 1640 plus 436 minus 350 minus 2460 minus 124. B must be the right answer in this case. Number 15. Statements about 4 different acids are listed. A 0.01 mole per dm cube solution of hydrochloric acid has a pH of 2. A 0.01 mole per dm cube solution of ethanoic acid has a pH of 3.4. Hydrobromic acid, HBr, is a strong acid. Ethanoic acid is a slightly stronger acid than trimethyl ethanoic acid. What are the pH values of 0.1 mole per dm cube HBr and 0.01 1 mole per dm to trimethyl ethanoic acid. HBr is a strong acid, so it must have 2 acid as its pH. So either A is correct or B is correct. Both C and D is incorrect. I've always told you that try to narrow down the choices. So either A is correct or B is correct. What about the pH of trimethyl ethanoic acid? They are saying ethanoic acid is slightly stronger than trimethyl ethanoic acid. So it must be having pH nearer to 7. So in this case, 3.B must be the pH for triethyl ethanoic acid. So B will be the right answer for question number 15. 16. Anhydrous cobalt 2 chloride is blue and turns pink when water is added. How is this reaction reversed? Simply heat it. So C will be the right answer in this case. All the other choices are incorrect. Number 17, the reaction between hydrogen and nitrogen is reversible. The forward reaction is exothermic. Here's the reaction: N2 gas plus 3H2 gas gives 2NH3 gas. Which change to the conditions would increase the yield of ammonia? A, add a catalyst. Catalyst only increases the rate of reaction, so A is incorrect. B, increase the pressure. Increase the pressure will shift the equilibrium to the side with less number of moles. So B looks correct to me, because if you count the moles on both sides of the reaction, on the reactant side we have 1 plus 3, and on the product side we have 2 moles. So according to this information, B must be the right answer. C, increase the temperature. If you increase the temperature, it will shift the equilibrium to the reactant side, because forward is exothermic. If forward is exothermic, backward is endothermic. So it will favor the backward direction. So this is also incorrect. D, reduce the concentration of nitrogen. If you reduce the concentration of nitrogen, which is on the reactant side, the equilibrium will shift to the reactant side. So this will reduce or decrease the yield of ammonia. So this is also incorrect. B will be the right answer for this question. 18. Ethanol can be turned into ethanoic acid by passing it over hot copper 2 oxide. This is a reaction. CH3 CH2OH plus 2CuO gives CH3COOH plus H2O plus 2Cu. What is this type of reaction? So if you look at the conversion, ethanoic is getting oxidized. It is oxidized. That is, it gets converted into ethanoic acid, and in this way it has gained oxygen also. So what is happening with CuO? If you look at CuO, CuO is losing oxygen, so it's reduced, which means it has lost oxygen. So there's a loss and gain of oxygen happening. So these are the situation for redox reaction. So it must be redox. All the other choices are incorrect. 19. When heated strongly, silicon 4 oxide reacts with carbon. This is a reaction. SiO2 plus 2C gives Si plus 2CO. Which term describes what happens to silicon 4 oxide? So if you look at this reaction, silicon 4 oxide has lost oxygen. That is reduced, which means it is reduced or reduction is taking place. So obviously D will be the right answer. For carbon, it is oxidized, it has gained oxygen. Gained oxygen, oxidized. Number 20. Which statement about aqueous weak acids is correct? A, weak acids are always dilute aqueous solutions. This is incorrect. They are not always dilute aqueous solutions. B, weak acids dissociate fully in aqueous solution. This is wrong. They dissociate partially in aqueous solution. C, when a weak acid is added to blue litmus paper, it stays blue. This is incorrect. It will turn to red because acid turns litmus paper to red. D, when a weak acid is added to solid magnesium, effervescence is seen. This is correct because this is due to the production of hydrogen gas. Production of hydrogen gas. Whenever metal reacts with acid, they produces hydrogen gas, which is indicated by the production of effervescence or bubbling. Number 21, which oxides are basic? Number 1, calcium oxide, this is basic. Number 2, sodium oxide, this is also basic. Number 3, iron 2 oxide, this is also basic. So A is the right answer. 22. Zinc oxide is an amphoteric oxide. Zinc oxide is added to excess dilute hydrochloric acid. Zinc oxide is added to excess aqueous sodium hydroxide. Which row describes the observations made in these reactions? So amphoteric oxide is the one which reacts with both this acid and alkali. Hydrochloric acid is an acid, sodium hydroxide is an alkali or a base. So we will get colorless solution. So obviously A will be the right answer in this case. All the other choices are incorrect. 23. Which row shows properties of an element that is in the same group of the periodic table as lithium? So where is lithium? Here is lithium, it's in group 1, which means it's a metal. Group 1 are metals. They are metals. Group 1, metals with low melting points, low density, soft, good conductor of heat and electricity. They are also very reactive as compared to other metals in the periodic table. So electrical conductivity is high. So either A is correct or B is correct. C and D is incorrect. I have already told you that try to narrow down the choices. Now it becomes easier for you to choose between A and B. So A must be the right answer because you can see in A, the density is low. Group 1 metals, they have low density. So A must be the right answer in this case. 24. The elements in group 7 include chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Which statements are correct? Iodine is more dense than chlorine. This is correct because the trend in group 7 is that density increases down the group. Number 2, iodine displaces chlorine from a solution containing chloride ions. This is incorrect because if you look at the position of iodine and chlorine, iodine is below chlorine, which means it is less reactive than chlorine, or chlorine is more reactive than iodine. So it can't displace chlorine from chloride ions. Okay, next statement, bromine is a diatomic nonmetal. This is also correct because group 7, they all exist as diatomic nonmetals. 4, chlorine gas is darker in color than bromine vapor. This is wrong. Chlorine is yellow-green gas. Bromine is reddish-brown liquid. So 1 and 3 is correct. So B must be the right answer for number 24. 25. Cobalt is a transition element. What is a property of cobalt? Now we are transition element. Here we have transition elements. Transition elements, they have high melting point, high boiling point. They are hard, high density. They are good conductor of heat and electricity. They are ductile, malleable. They form colored compounds. So A looks correct to me. In this case, I'm reading the other statements for your convenience. B, it's a poor conductor of electricity, or it's a poor electrical conductor. This is incorrect. C, it has a low density. This is also incorrect. D, it has a low melting point. This is also incorrect. So A must be the right answer for number 25. Moving to next question. Which metal has variable oxidation numbers? A, aluminium. B, calcium. C, copper. D, sodium. So the metal, these all are metals. The one which is present in the middle of the periodic table, that is among transient metal, must have variable oxidation numbers. Where is copper? If you look at the position of copper, here's copper. Aluminium, here's aluminium. What about sodium? Sodium is in group 1. Calcium is in group 2. So copper must be the one which has variable oxidation number. This is one of the typical properties of transition elements in the periodic table. So C must be the right answer. 27. Which statement about alloys is correct? What are alloys? They are mixture of metals. First of all, remember they are mixture of metals, not compounds. They are not compounds. A, alloys are pure metal elements. This is incorrect. B, at least 2 or more metals react together to make alloys. 27. It looks correct to me. You can have 2 or more metal react. Sorry, this is incorrect. The reason is that they are saying react together. They are not reacted together. So this is also incorrect. C, alloys can be harder and stronger than a pure metal. This is correct. Because in alloys, you have a big size metal atom. Like this one is the structure of alloy. It's a big size metal atom. And we have small metal atoms. Lots of small metals atoms. So this big size prevent the sliding of these small size metal atoms, which makes it harder and stronger. So they become harder and stronger. This looks correct to me. D, steel is not an alloy because it can contain the non-metal carbon. This is incorrect. Steel is an alloy. So C must be the right answer for 27. 28. A metal M is between sodium and magnesium in the reactivity series. So in the reactivity series, where is the reactivity series? K, Na, Ca, Mg, Al, so on. So there is a metal M which is between magnesium and sodium. Between magnesium and sodium, it must be calcium. Which reactions occur with M and its oxide? So will M reacts with steam? Yes, it will react with steam. So either C is correct or D is correct. A and B is incorrect. M can be extracted by heating its oxide with carbon. This is incorrect. This must be no. The reason is that it's among the highly reactive metals, so it can be extracted through electrolytic method. Through electrolysis of molten salt or oxide even. So this is the correct. This looks correct. So D is incorrect. Number 29. The diagrams show experiments to investigate rusting of iron nails. We have tap water in 1. In 2, we have salt water. In 3, we have boiled water. In 3, we have layer of oil as well as closed also. In which test tubes do the nails rust? So in 1 and 2, the iron nail will definitely rust. What about 3? In 3, we have boiled water. Boiled water does not contain oxygen because oxygen is more soluble in cold water. And there plays a layer of oil so that the air will not come in contact with the water. Air must contain oxygen, and they have also have closed top. So iron will not rust in 3. It will only rust in 1 and 2. B must be the right answer in this case. Number 30, which equation represents a reaction that takes place when iron is extracted from its ore in the blast furnace? A, CaO plus SiO2 gives CaSiO3. This is correct because there is a reaction between calcium oxide and sand, SiO2. to produce calcium silicate, which is slag or calcium silicate. So this looks correct to me. For your convenience, I'm reading the other reaction also. B, CO plus CO2 gives CaCO3. This is incorrect. C, 2CO gives C plus CO2. This is also incorrect. D, 2Fe plus 3CO2 gives Fe2CO3 plus 3CO. This is also incorrect. So obviously A will be the right answer in this case. 31. Some uses of water are listed. 1 for drinking, 2 in chemical reactions, 3 in swimming pools, 4 in washing. For which uses is it necessary to chlorinate the water? So for drinking, you have to chlorinate. So 1 must be the right. And in swimming pools, we need to chlorinate. For chemical reaction washing, we don't need to chlorinate. So B must be the right answer in this case. Next question. Oxides of nitrogen are formed in car engines and are a source of air pollution. To decrease this pollution, catalytic converters are fitted to car exhaust. What happens to the oxides of nitrogen in the catalytic converter? It will get reduced. So D must be the right answer in this case. 33. Which pair of compounds are structural isomers of each other? A, CH3, CH2, CH3 and CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. This is incorrect because they are different compounds. They have the different number of carbon atoms. They can't be the structural isomers. Structural isomers must have same molecular formula, different structures. B, CH2 double bond CH, CH3 and CH3, CH double bond CH2. This can't be the isomer. The reason is that both of these are same compound. They are propene. So B is also incorrect. Next one, CH2OH, CH2, CH3 and CH3, CH2, CH2OH. This also can't be the isomer because both of these have same number of carbon atoms and other elements, and they are actually same compound. Both of these are propanol. So D must be the right answer in this case. CH3, CH2, CH2, COOH and CH3, COO, CH2, CH3. If you look at the carbon atom, 4 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4, C4. What about hydrogen? 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 2, 7. 7 plus 1, 8. H8. Oxygen, O2. Next, for next one, again we have 4 carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4. C4. How many hydrogen? H3, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, H8, oxygen 2. So this must be the right answer. 34. Methane reacts with chlorine in sunlight. This is a reaction. CH4 plus Cl2 gives CH3Cl plus 2HCl. Which statements about this reaction are correct? 1. It's a substitution reaction. This is correct. Number 2, it's an addition reaction. This is incorrect. It's not an addition reaction. Number 3, it's a photochemical reaction. This is also correct. This is catalyzed by light. The reaction is known as photochemical reaction. Catalyzed by light. So it's a correct statement. 4, it is catalyzed by nickel. This is incorrect. So only 1 and 3 is correct. So A must be the right answer for number 4. 34. 35. Propene reacts with bromine to give one product only. What is the formula of the product? Propene reacts with bromine to give one product only. What is the formula for propene? CH3, CH double bond CH2 plus Br2. We must get CH3, CHBr, CH2Br. So A is incorrect. B. In B is also incorrect because they place the bromine in carbon number at carbon 1 and 3. Sorry, B looks, B is also incorrect, right? So they place bromine at carbon number 2. The problem is that at carbon number 2, they have made 5 valency for the carbon because there are 2 hydrogen atoms attached with that carbon. So this is incorrect. C looks correct to me. CH3, CHBr, CH2Br. Last one, CH3, CH2, CH2Br. This is also incorrect because this will be produced when HBr is added. C will be the right answer. 36. Ethanol can be manufactured by fermentation or by catalytic addition of steam to ethene. Which statements describe an advantage of manufacturing ethanol by fermentation? Number 1, the yield of ethanol is low. This can't be the advantage. Number 2, the method uses a batch process. It does not use a batch process. Addition of steam to ethene involves batch process. 3, the process takes place at a low temperature. This is correct. This is an advantage. 4, ethanol is made from a renewable source. This is also correct. The sugar involves made from the renewable source. So D must be the right answer for 36. 37, a compound with the formula CH3COOC2H5 is formed from ethanol in 2 separate reactions. Number 1, ethanol reacts to form ethanoic acid. Number 2, ethanoic acid and ethanol react together to form CH3COOC2H5. Which row describes reaction 1 and reaction 2? Reaction 1 is oxidation. So either A is correct or B is correct. Both C and D is incorrect. What about reaction 2? So reaction 2 is involving the formation of ester. So A must be the right answer in this case. 38. The flow diagram shows how polyethylene may be made from petroleum. Petroleum is converted to fuel oil. Number 2, fuel oil is converted to ethene. Number 3, ethene is converted to polyethylene. What are stages 1, 2, and 3? 1 must involve fractional distillation, and 2 must involve cracking, and 3 is the polymerization. So C must be the right answer in this case. 39. RF values are used to identify unknown substances using paper chromatography. Which statements about RF values are correct? Number 1, RF values are always less than 1. This is correct. Number 2, RF value distance traveled by solvent divided distance traveled by unknown substance. This is wrong. Incorrect. In fact, distance traveled by unknown substance divided by distance traveled by solvent. 3, the higher the RF value, the further the unknown substance travels. This is also correct because higher the value of RF indicates that the unknown substance travels a lot. What about 4? The RF values are not affected by the solubility of the unknown substance. Definitely, it will be affected by solubility of unknown substance. So 1 and 3 is the right answer. Number 40. Last question. The results of some test on an aqueous solution of substance X are listed. Number 1, a cream precipitate is produced when adding aqueous silver nitrate. 2, adding aqueous sodium hydroxide to produces a green precipitate which dissolves in excess alkali. Number 3, adding aqueous ammonia produces a green precipitate which is insoluble in excess ammonia. What is substance X? Number 1 indicates the presence of bromide ion, Br. Number 2 indicates the presence of Cr plus 3. So it must be chromium 3 bromide. If you predict the formula for this one, what you will get? You get CrBr3. It's chromium 3 bromide. So A must be the right answer. Thanks for watching. Press like and share my videos. For more videos, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon.